Sometimes, the smallest discomforts are your body's loudest warnings. It might seem like a small thing, an itch that keeps coming back in the same spot. You might even shrug it off as dry skin, a mild allergy, or just something that comes with age. But what if that itch wasn't just a surface-level nuisance? What if it was your body's way of whispering that something deeper is going on? I'm Dr. David Collins, and I've spent my life caring for older adults, helping them understand the subtle signs their bodies use to communicate. And today, I want to talk about one of the most overlooked signs, persistent itching. You see, after the age of 60, your body becomes more sensitive, more expressive in ways you may not expect. An itch on your leg, your back, or even your scalp can sometimes be the first signal that something important is changing inside you. It could be related to blood circulation, liver health, nerve function, or even imbalances in your blood sugar. These aren't guesses. They're patterns we've seen in patients, time and time again. And when we've taken the time to listen, to investigate these quiet clues, we've often been able to catch and manage serious conditions before they became dangerous. That's why in this video, we're going to walk through 8 specific areas on the body where itching may be more than just skin deep. If you've been dealing with persistent itchiness in one of these spots, I invite you to stay with me. I'll explain what could be behind each type of itch, share real-life examples, and offer gentle suggestions for what you can do next. This isn't about fear, it's about awareness and the power of early understanding. Because when you know what to look for, you're more likely to catch health issues early, when they're easier to manage and less likely to impact your quality of life. So as we begin, I want to ask you something. Have you ever had a spot on your body that just kept itching no matter what you tried? Something that didn't go away with lotion or changes in soap? If that sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Let's explore what those small signs might really be trying to tell you. If you've been noticing an itch that just won't quit around your lower legs, especially near your shins or ankles, it's easy to assume it's just dry skin or irritation from socks. But for older adults, this persistent itch may be something more than skin deep. In fact, it could be your vascular system sending out an early red flag, one that you don't want to ignore. You see, your legs are the farthest point from your heart. That means your blood has to travel the longest distance to reach them, and the return trip is even harder, especially as we age. When circulation starts to slow down, the skin in your lower legs may not get enough oxygen and nutrients. That leads to dryness, thinning skin, and even nerve-related itching. Sometimes the body sends us strange signals, burning, tingling, or itching in places we don't expect. And in this case, the cause could be reduced blood flow caused by narrowed arteries or weakened veins. Over time, this can evolve into a condition known as peripheral artery disease, or PAD. PAD doesn't always come with obvious pain, but it does raise your risk of heart attack and stroke. That's why catching early signs like itching can make a real difference. Let me tell you about Thomas. He's 73 and used to notice an itch on his shins every evening. He thought maybe it was just from his socks or lack of lotion. But when it started happening daily, he mentioned it during a routine checkup. His doctor found that his circulation was slowing, putting him at risk for blood clots. The good news is, with a few lifestyle changes, daily walking, staying hydrated, and adjusting his diet, his itching improved, and so did his overall blood flow. If you'd like to do a simple check at home, try pressing a finger into your shin for a few seconds. If the indentation stays longer than expected before disappearing, it may be worth bringing up with your doctor. Don't just dismiss it as dry skin. Persistent itching in your lower legs could be your body's way of warning you before something more serious develops. And the sooner you take it seriously, the better chance you have of staying active, healthy, and in control. If you've ever had an itch on your upper back, right around the shoulder blades, that just won't seem to go away, no matter how much you scratch, you're not alone. Many people think it's just dry skin or irritation from clothing. But for older adults, persistent itching in this area can sometimes be a subtle sign of something deeper: nerve compression in the spine. There's even a name for it: notalgia paresthetica. That may sound complicated, but the idea is simple. As we age, the discs between the bones in our spine can lose hydration and shrink. When that happens, the nerves in the upper back can become pinched or irritated, which leads to that nagging, unreachable itch. This kind of itch often doesn't respond to lotion or scratching because the problem isn't on the skin, it's coming from the nerves underneath. It's like your spine is sending mixed signals to your brain, telling it something's wrong even when the skin is perfectly healthy. If left unaddressed, this kind of nerve compression can lead to more serious problems down the road, like pain, stiffness, reduced mobility, or even changes in posture that affect your daily life. Let me share the story of Leonard. He's 68 and started experiencing an odd itch just below his right shoulder blade. It didn't matter what kind of cream he used. Nothing helped. When he finally saw a specialist, he learned the itch was caused by a pinched nerve in his upper spine. With a few simple adjustments, like improving his posture, doing light stretches each day, and going to physical therapy, his symptoms gradually improved. Most importantly, he prevented further nerve damage by acting early. If you'd like to check for yourself, try pressing gently into the itchy spot with your fingers. If the area feels numb, tingly, or unusually deep compared to a surface itch, that may be your body's way of telling you the issue is coming from within. Persistent upper back itching isn't just an inconvenience. It might be your spine asking for help. And giving it the attention it needs now can make a big difference in how well you move, feel, and function in the years ahead. If you've been noticing a strange, persistent itch on your palms, especially when there's no rash, dryness, or visible cause, it might be more than just a passing irritation. For some older adults, itching in the palms can actually be one of the first signs that the liver is under stress. And because this kind of itching often doesn't show any redness or swelling, it's easy to overlook. But inside your body, something important might be happening. The liver plays a crucial role in filtering toxins from your blood and producing bile, a fluid that helps digest fats. When the liver isn't functioning properly, whether due to fatty liver disease, inflammation, or long-term damage, bile salts can start to build up in your bloodstream. And one of the earliest symptoms of that buildup is itchy skin, especially on your palms and the soles of your feet. You might notice that the itch gets worse at night, or that lotions don't seem to make much difference. That's because the problem isn't on the surface, it's coming from within. Let me tell you about Walter, age 72. He began having episodes of palm itching in the evenings. At first he thought it was from gardening or maybe a new soap, but nothing helped, and it kept coming back. Eventually he brought it up at his yearly checkup. Blood tests showed that his liver enzymes were elevated, a sign of early-stage fatty liver disease. With guidance from his doctor, he made some dietary changes. He cut back on processed foods, started eating more leafy greens, and drank more water. Within a few weeks, the itching faded, and his liver function improved. If you've been dealing with itchy palms and you can't quite figure out why, it may be worth paying closer attention. Are you also feeling more tired than usual? Have you noticed any weight changes, bloating, or yellowing in the eyes or skin? These symptoms can be subtle but meaningful. One simple check you can try is to press your thumb into your palm for a few seconds and release. If the skin stays red longer than normal or feels overly sensitive, it might be your body's quiet way of asking for help. The earlier you listen, the more easily you can take steps to protect your liver and your long-term health. If your scalp has been feeling unusually itchy, even when there's no dandruff or visible skin irritation, it's worth paying attention. Many older adults assume that scalp itching is just from a change in shampoo, a dry environment, or maybe even wearing hats more often. But in some cases, persistent scalp itching, especially when it's not relieved by creams or washes, could be a subtle sign that your blood sugar is out of balance. Here's why that matters. When blood sugar levels stay elevated for long periods, it creates a low-grade inflammatory state in the body. This kind of inflammation can affect the skin's natural barrier, weaken immune response, and even damage small nerve endings in the scalp. That's why you may start to notice persistent dryness, irritation, or even tingling in that area. Over time, these signs can become early indicators of prediabetes or type 2 diabetes, even before more obvious symptoms show up. Let me tell you about Richard, age 69. He began noticing that his scalp was constantly itchy, especially in the late afternoon. He tried switching shampoos, using scalp treatments, even cutting back on hot showers, but nothing worked. Finally, during a checkup, he mentioned it to his doctor. A simple blood test showed that his fasting glucose was in the pre-diabetic range. With some small but steady changes, cutting back on refined carbohydrates, walking after meals, and drinking more water, his itching gradually disappeared. And just as important, his blood sugar levels returned to a healthier range. If you're experiencing something similar, here's a small test you can try. Run your fingers firmly along your scalp. Does it feel overly dry or tender? Do you notice a general irritation throughout the day, even without touching your head? If so, it might be time to check your blood sugar. Not because it means something is wrong, but because your body might be trying to help you catch something early. If these insights are starting to resonate with you, and you'd like to keep learning more about natural ways to restore your energy and confidence, go ahead and click subscribe. That way, you won't miss the rest of this powerful journey we're taking together. Have you ever noticed a strange itch on the soles of your feet, especially at night? You might assume it's from dry skin, or maybe the fabric of your socks. But for men over 60, persistent itching on the bottom of the feet may be a quiet signal from your nervous system, one that deserves your full attention. The nerves in your feet are some of the most sensitive and most vulnerable in your entire body. They're also among the first to show signs when something deeper, like neuropathy, is beginning to develop. Neuropathy is a condition that affects how your nerves send signals. When nerves begin to break down or misfire, often due to issues like poor circulation, high blood sugar, or pressure damage, they can send the wrong messages to your brain. Instead of telling you everything's fine, they might create sensations like itching, tingling, or burning, even when nothing is touching your skin. It's not the skin that's irritated, it's the nerve beneath it crying out. Let me tell you about Frank, age 74. He began feeling itchy sensations on the bottoms of his feet every evening. No lotion seemed to help, and the itch always came back. He assumed it was just dry skin, or maybe the detergent he used. But when he finally mentioned it during a checkup, his doctor ran a few simple tests. It turned out he was in the early stages of peripheral neuropathy, nerve damage likely linked to poor blood sugar control and reduced circulation. The good news is, with early action, daily walking, dietary changes, and regular foot care, he was able to slow the progression and feel more comfortable again. You can try a simple test at home. Take the cap of a pen and gently run it along the bottom of each foot. If you feel the sensation more in one foot than the other, or if the area feels numb, tingly, or itchy without reason, that could be a warning sign. If your feet have been trying to tell you something lately, especially at night, it may be time to listen closely. Sometimes, healing starts with nothing more than recognizing the signal your body has been sending all along. It's not an easy thing to talk about, but if you've been dealing with frequent itching around the anal area, especially at night or when there's no clear cause, it could be more than just a hygiene issue. Many older adults assume it's due to soap, tight clothing, or irritation from sitting too long. And sometimes, that's true. But in other cases, itching in this area may point to deeper issues tied to your digestive system or even your liver. One common reason for this type of itch is a buildup of bile salts in the bloodstream, something that happens when the liver is under strain and not processing waste efficiently. These bile salts can irritate sensitive nerve endings in areas like the palms, soles, and yes, even around the anus. The result? An itch that seems to have no surface cause, doesn't go away with cleaning or lotion, and tends to worsen at night. That's because your body's natural detox systems are most active while you rest. Another possibility involves the digestive tract itself. Conditions like irritable bowel syndrome, hemorrhoids, or chronic constipation can lead to inflammation or pressure in that area, which may cause lingering discomfort or itching. And because the skin in this region is so delicate, even minor changes in diet or gut balance can show up as irritation. It's a sensitive topic, but the truth is, your gut and liver health are deeply connected, and when either one is off balance, your body often finds ways to let you know. Let me share George's story. He's 66 and began feeling a persistent itch in the evenings, even though he kept good hygiene and changed his laundry detergent. He hesitated to bring it up, but eventually told his doctor. Through a few simple tests and a conversation about digestion, they found signs of sluggish liver function and mild IBS. With a few changes, like increasing fiber, staying hydrated, and avoiding late-night snacks, his symptoms eased within weeks. If this sounds familiar, know that you're not alone. Try paying attention to what you eat, how your digestion feels, and whether other signs, like fatigue or bloating, show up alongside the itching. These gentle signs may be your body's way of asking for support, and sometimes healing starts by simply not ignoring what feels uncomfortable to mention. If you've been experiencing persistent itching on your upper chest, right around the collarbone or breastbone, and there's no visible rash, dryness, or irritation, it might be your thyroid trying to get your attention. The skin in that area is thin and rich with blood vessels, making it one of the places where internal imbalances can show up early, especially after age 60. Your thyroid is a small gland in your neck, but it has a big role. It regulates your metabolism, body temperature, and even how your skin feels. When it's underactive, known as hypothyroidism, your skin can become dry, flaky, and itchy. For many older adults, the first sign isn't fatigue or weight gain, but subtle skin symptoms, like chronic itching on the chest or neck. That's because low thyroid hormone slows down skin turnover, leading to dryness and irritation, especially in sun-exposed or delicate areas. Another possibility is related to your medications. As we age, it's common to be on several prescriptions at once: blood pressure pills, cholesterol meds, even over-the-counter antacids. Some of these drugs, especially when taken together, can trigger mild allergic responses or cause your liver to process them less efficiently. The result? A histamine response or skin sensitivity, often showing up as redness or itching in areas like the upper chest, arms, or back. Let me share the story of Harold, 71, who noticed a strange itching across his chest that didn't go away. He used gentle soaps, wore cotton shirts, and even switched laundry detergent, but nothing helped. After speaking with his doctor, they discovered that his thyroid levels were slightly off, and one of his medications was interacting poorly with another. A simple medication adjustment and a thyroid support plan made a huge difference, and the itching stopped. So if you've been scratching your chest more than usual, take a moment to think about the bigger picture. Has your energy been low? Are you colder than usual? Is your skin getting thinner or more sensitive? These signs might not be loud, but they're worth listening to. Sometimes your skin tells the truth before the blood test does. And when you respond with curiosity, not fear, you give yourself a better chance at long-term health. By now, we've explored 8 different itchy spots that might seem harmless on the surface, but underneath, they could be whispering about something much deeper. And if you're over 60, those whispers deserve to be heard. From circulation to nerve function, liver stress to blood sugar balance, even hormonal shifts or medication reactions, your skin can be one of the first places to sound the alarm. That's the beauty and complexity of aging. Our bodies don't always shout when something's wrong. More often they nudge, a dry patch, a strange tingle, an itch that keeps coming back in the same place. It's easy to dismiss these things as normal, as just part of getting older. But sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're invitations to slow down, to check in, and to take better care of what's quietly shifting inside. If you've recognized any of these itchy areas in your own life, I want to encourage you not to panic, but to be curious. Ask yourself, has this been happening for a while? Is it getting worse? Are there other signs I might have overlooked? Bringing these observations to your doctor, even if they seem small, could help uncover something important before it grows into something serious. And remember, you're not alone in this. So many men your age have been taught to ignore discomfort, to stay silent, to tough it out. But listening to your body is not weakness, it's wisdom. It's how we stay strong, stay active, and stay connected to ourselves. Now I'd love to hear from you. Has one of these itchy spots shown up in your life lately? Or maybe there's something you've always wondered about but didn't think mattered. Go ahead and leave a comment below and share your story. Or just tell me which part of today's video gave you something to think about. I read every message, and your words mean more than you know. If this video helped you, even in a small way, please consider subscribing. It's how we keep growing this space, together.